Hello to all you rebel scum out there, and welcome to the Padwan Podcast, our apocalypse movie, all Star Wars podcast where we geek out on everything from the galaxy far, far away. I am Jake Berlin, aka Qui-Gon Jake. I am joined today by my fellow rebel scum, Jacob Bartley, aka Grand Moff Bartley, and Gio Ramos, aka C3Gio. How's it going, guys?
It's going awesome.
Hello there.
I but I was on my break at work today and saw a post by you, Jake. Surprise! New international Star Wars trailer. And I was like, I actually saw it on another site, but I was like, oh, there's not going to be anything special on there. Oh.
Stop.
Little technical difficulty. Gio's blasting the TV. But when I saw your post, you said new footage. And I was like, oh, there's new footage. And I was expecting like one new shot. But there's a lot of new shots in here. I'm excited.
Yeah, so we kind of planned this over the past few days. We were not expecting to talk about a lot. There hasn't been a lot dropped since the new trailer, besides the character posters. But of course, in true J.J. Abrams fashion, a brand new international trailer was dropped this morning. And as Jacob said, it has a crap load of new footage. The entire trailer is basically all new footage. It's only about a minute 20 long or so. It's very short, which is totally fine with me, but it doesn't give away anything. It's just a lot of new footage, a lot of new goodies that we can talk about. So we're going to jump into that for a little bit. Gio, I'm going to start with you, man. Initial thoughts of the new international trailer.
Gorgeous, beautiful. There are so many beautiful shots in this trailer. Just from like the sunset, and you see like
the TIE fighters.
Coming in.
That's my favorite shot of the trailer.
And you're just like, wow. And then like, I mean, I'm going way off order here, but when Kylo Ren points his lightsaber at
Rey
Holds it up to her neck.
That's beautiful, man.
Great
So
shot.
awesome.
We saw a little bit more of Princess Leia. That was awesome. So, I mean, as a Star Wars fan, this is just like the icing on the cake right here. Like, we already got the cake with the trailer, and now we got icing. And
Did you mention the one character that we hadn't seen until this point, and we finally see him?
3CPO?
Yeah. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
3CPO.
C3PO.
Come on, C3PO.
C3. I'm sorry, guys.
Jeez.
I'm like,
That's your
Damn,
name,
my brain
You're
is
named after
everywhere.
him.
Oh my god.
What did he say?
I said
3CPO.
Oh my god. My bad. Hey, man.
All right, well, going off that, Jacob.
C3GO.
Initial thoughts. I know you saw a little bit late, but I mean, what do you think, man?
How am I gonna not love a Star Wars trailer no matter what it is? But I'm just so stoked. Well, I was happy and content with no more trailers from this point on. I'm always excited to see more footage. And it's not like this footage gave away anything. It's just frames. It's just shots. You know, not much more dialogue than before. It's pretty much the same dialogue, a little different. But actually, there is some new dialogue.
There's some telling stuff in there.
Well, after the whole Rey thing in the beginning, there's not much different, right?
No, the one at the very end where the hope line.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, there's some new dialogue, but there was a lot of the same dialogue though too. Like
yes.
Harrison Ford, it's all true, but he did say the Force. He didn't say that in the first one.
Yeah.
So and again, remember that frame we were talking about when she's looking up, the one that just showed
in the very beginning.
So we speculated about this, but I think a ship is just flying in outer space, and she's looking at it like, damn, I want to go out. I want to go explore the universe. I don't want to just be stuck on this planet. And, I mean, I'm digging it, man. We get to see interactions between her and Finn. We get to see her talk to BB-8. We have stormtroopers with flamethrowers. Have we ever seen that before in a movie?
Flametroopers? Yeah.
In a movie?
Empire Strikes Back.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't... okay.
Yeah.
But... I mean, it looks so much better here. But yeah, dude, I'm loving it. I mean, how can you not?
Yeah, I'm completely with you guys. I was surprised that it has so much new footage. The whole thing is almost all new footage. Some of the same stuff, but from different angles. We see a lot of stuff on Jakku. It seems like there's a lot more stuff going on Jakku. That shot right there of the camera on the side of the X-Wing is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that sequence. But the
one, man,
we're playing the trailer right now, and the shot just came up with Kylo Ren and a lightsaber pointing it at Rey.
Rey's looking at that blade like. Oh,
but the dialogue is the thing that stands out to me the most. In the very beginning, when she's talking to BB-8, and she says, I know something about waiting for my family.
Yeah.
I think that's a telltale sign that she is in fact a Skywalker.
Oh, I mean, it's
I'm saying Luke's daughter Skywalker.
yeah. I mean,
Whoa.
it's pretty much a given that she's related to the Skywalkers, because what have Kathleen Kennedy and J.J. Abrams said? This is the story of the Skywalkers. It's going to continue, but we don't know. That means she could be Luke, Han, and Leia's daughter.
She knows that's very possible.
It seems, but it seems more likely that it's Luke's daughter, because we see Han talking to her, and it's not like he's talking to his daughter. You know, it doesn't feel. I don't feel that when they show those scenes. So I have a strong feeling that she is Luke's daughter,
and also with the final line of the trailer where they talk about hope, it's a very Rey centric trailer. It's all about her.
She's a New Hope.
She's the Luke Skywalker.
She's the new Hope.
She's the new Hope. Exactly.
New
she is the Luke Skywalker of this trilogy.
The money shot when Kylo Ren holds his blade up to her neck. Do you see her face?
Yes.
She looks totally frightened. Like, it tells me this girl's a good actress.
Because her big brother's about to kill her.
It's
cousin. It's cousin. It'll be cousin. I hope anyway.
But man, I'm loving it. Look at her face. She looks so frightened.
Let's real quick. I'm just gonna ask a question, Gio. Anything new that you didn't think come from this trailer? Like any kind of new theory or anything? And what is your favorite shot from the trailer?
Well, if you're telling me that Rey is Luke's daughter, this just proves more how potentially evil he could be. You know, because
Luke.
Yeah.
No.
You can't go having kids as a Jedi. Come on.
Hey, you can.
I mean, Mace Windu would. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Mace Windu's dead though.
I would say
the
Windu
Jedi
would
Order
lose
doesn't
hair.
exist.
Yeah, this is a new era of Jedi.
Like, Luke basically could make up his own rules after Return of the Jedi.
And who knows? What if he stepped away from being a Jedi at some point, and then he came back to it, and he had a daughter at that point?
I see what you're saying though, Joe. You're not supposed to have attachment.
Well, because
as a
Anakin had a kid, and then he turned into Darth Vader.
Yeah.
So
no, none of the other Jedi, as far as we know, have a kid until now. But favorite shot of the movie, I'm gonna have to agree with you. It's the sunset, man.
With the TIE fighters.
TIE fighters coming in.
It's pretty gorgeous.
And real quick, I'll just say, for me, this is a little bit more of a darker trailer here, because you see stormtroopers tearing it up.
No, there's some stuff going on.
You see Kylo Ren pointing his blade.
And even just that blade. Holding his blade to his neck is
explosions
dark.
everywhere. It's like
when it looks like. Also, I'll say this: it almost feels like the First Order is coming after BB-8, and not Rey or Finn.
That would be an interesting twist.
Because it looks like BB-8's kind of in the action almost. Like, what if they're coming after the droid like they were in A New Hope?
Think about it. In A New Hope, R2-D2 has the Death Star plans in him.
What if BB-8, we heard the rumors a while ago, what if BB-8 does in fact have Luke's original or Anakin's original lightsaber in him?
I mean,
and they're coming after him.
That would make sense, but why would they make such a big deal out of one lightsaber, though? It's not like it has its own powers.
It's Anakin and Luke's original lightsaber.
Yeah, I mean, it's important, but I don't know if they would make a huge deal about that, but maybe he has something more important inside of him is what I'm thinking.
But that's kind of what I got away from the trailer, is that they may be coming after BB-8 instead of Finn.
Yeah, I mean, I still think Captain Phasma is after Finn.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
But as for the TIE fighters in the beginning, I think they're coming after BB-8. That's what it feels like to me. But I'm with you, Gio. The money shot for me is like the most eye-catching is the TIE fighters in that sunset or sunrise. Yeah. Either one. It's just and also the camera on the side of the X-wing. Those are classic Abrams shots. Like it's gorgeous to see in a Star Wars movie.
Yeah,
I'm very excited to see how it plays out, especially the action sequence. I hope they do more of those. It's like a first-person shooter. You're inside the X-wing.
Yeah.
But that's for me. Jacob, what about you? Anything new and favorite shot?
New footage. Well, we were talking about it earlier. We see Poe next to Leia in that scene with C-3PO. Obviously C-3PO.
With the red arm.
With the red arm. We haven't seen C-3PO in any trailers yet. I'm curious as to how has he been with Leia this whole time? That would make sense.
I'm guessing.
That would make complete sense. And maybe Luke, if Luke is the one holding his hand on R2-D2, maybe Luke took R2 and she kept C-3PO.
I would think
that gets me excited because maybe we're going to see a reunion, them seeing each other after 25 years.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That would be cool. They're boys, you know. they're they've been through
Well,
a lot
they're
together.
one of the three, like, four characters that have been in all 6 movies.
Yeah,
Something like
exactly.
that.
So and its favorite shot. I mean, I already said it. It's when Kylo Ren puts out his lightsaber against Daisy Ridley's neck, because to me it says that alone says a lot of things. It tells me that Kylo Ren, because we all think that they're related to whether they're brother and sister or cousins, right? He doesn't care. If she gets in the way of his mission, he'll kill her. Mm-hmm. He doesn't give a F. I'm curious is who else is in that scene though.
Well,
who is he holding?
Here's the thing. So
who is he threatening?
They're in a forest, and we've seen shots before of Daisy really looking up through the forest at the First Order ships going through the sky, right?
Yep.
Does that happen before the lightsaber shot or after the lightsaber shot?
Yeah.
Before.
You think so?
I think before, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just curious, like, somebody's in front of them, I feel like.
I'm guessing it's Han.
Yeah, and
because we've seen all three of them in the forest. Like that must be where the Rebel base is, the Alliance base.
And it doesn't look like he snuck up on her or anything. It looks like he was already standing next to her.
Yeah,
and he's like,
she knows that he's there.
He's like, wait a minute.
She knows that he's there. Yeah,
something's not telling him what he wants to hear or something like that. And it seems like he like he has them as his hostages. Like, I don't know, because
like waiting for a transport to bring him back.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe he's captured all of them, and at that point he's
he's just force choking all of them.
Exactly. I don't know, dude. I mean, he seems very powerful. I mean, I can't wait to see him and Luke fight at the end of the movie. So.
All right. Well, any final thoughts about the trailer? Anything else you want to see? Is this the last thing you want to see, all footage wise?
I said that about the last trailer, and I'll say it again, but if another trailer comes out, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, there's no way you can skip over it. Yeah.
But
Gio,
I'm happy with this.
I'm always looking for more trailers, only because Lucasfilm and Disney,
they're keeping it
they
secret.
know how to give us more footage without spoiling.
Exactly.
So I'm not against the
We're
idea.
going to get TV spots.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I'm definitely looking forward to it, guys. Like, I love it, man.
All right, well, we're gonna move on to the real piece of movie news that dropped this week. The first character posters for the film. What was this, on Wednesday?
I believe
I wanna
so.
say.
Earlier this week.
Yeah, and there were 5 of them. They all kind of dropped in a row from various Facebook pages and Twitter's pages. John Boyega dropped his. Daisy Ridley dropped his. They're all similar. We see shots of Han, Leia, Kylo Ren, Rey, and Finn. All with, Han has his blaster in front of his face.
Rey has the staff.
Yes.
Finn has the blue lightsaber.
And Kylo Ren's got his saber.
But what is that in front of Leia? It's not a lightsaber.
Well, in the trailer we saw Han when he was talking about the Jedi and the Sith.
So you think it's like just hologram stuff?
Yes, and I think she's at the base that we saw her in this trailer.
Okay.
Something that she works with obviously
all
daily.
of these objects that they're holding have something to do with the character. So
I think that's her. It's saying that she's in fact in charge and she's like doing this stuff at the Alliance base.
Because that's not there for no reason.
Yeah. So
something.
Just real quick, we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna see what you guys' favorite ones are. Jacob, let's start with you. What do you think about the style of the posters, and what's your favorite one out of all of them?
Well, just overall in general, I love them. They're freaking awesome because so these are a lot of our main characters that we're going to see throughout the film, besides Luke whenever he shows up, maybe towards the end.
I think these are the 5 that we're getting.
Yeah, like that we're going to get most of throughout the movie, but it's Star Wars, so everyone needs a weapon, so that goes to show a lot of what the film's going to be like. Stuff's going down in this movie, and everyone's going to have their weapon by their side. And the Leia one, like you said, maybe it's just holograms, and it just shows her role. She's not going to be in the action, but she's going to be like the commander. She's going to be like, I don't want to say like Nick Fury, but like she's going to be...
Let me ask you this. The fact that we didn't get one with Poe Dameron...
Oh wow, that's very
interesting. And the
interesting.
fact that they gave Leia a character poster, does this say that we're gonna get more Leia than we were thinking before?
I think so.
Is she gonna be involved a lot more than what we were thinking?
I think she's gonna show up. I don't think she's gonna be in the beginning. I think she's gonna show up like 45 minutes into the movie, and then she's a strong presence until like the last 20 minutes, you know? Like, I don't think she's going to die. I just think everyone else is going to go off to battle, and she has to stay behind.
It seems like she's one of the main
But I think she's going to be giving orders, though. Like, they're going to be... I mean, her and Han are going to have headsets on or something, and she's going to be commanding from her base, you know? So I think that's what her role is going to be, and I'm fine with that, you know? Even though...
Well, that is her role,
she was always in the action in the original trilogy. Yeah. She was always involved.
Well, she saved the boys' butts most of the time.
A lot of the time. So, I mean, obviously she's older now, so, I mean... her physicality is going to be limited, but hers stands out the most to me, actually.
So that's your favorite?
It's not my favorite. I'm going to have to go with John Boyega's because something about that blue lightsaber, man, that gets my blood pumping, dude. I mean, Obi-Wan Kenobi has always been my favorite character, and it's the blue lightsaber, man. It's my
Star Wars.
It's my favorite thing in Star Wars, and so that's my favorite, but the one that stands out to me the most is Leia's because it's so mysterious. I don't know what exactly is going on with her. So it opens my eyes a lot more.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the posters are unbelievable. I had said in the article that this style, it only fits in a Star Wars movie. Like, I think this style, like if you were to put this kind of poster with someone in front of their face for like a, say... I don't know, a James Bond movie or a Transformers movie.
Like his gun right in front of his face.
I don't think it would work as well.
No.
Well, Warcraft did the same thing. You know.
That's very true.
Yeah,
that's very true.
So.
I think that it fits the Star Wars universe very well. They're very beautiful. We see what kind of weapons and what they'll be involved with for the film. What stands out to me the most is the fact that we don't have one for Poe Dameron.
True.
Like there isn't one, and it may come later on. Maybe we'll get an R2-D2 one or a BB-8 one, but the fact that he wasn't included with these 5 that were released within like 20 minutes of each other, that's kind of what stands out to me the most. But my favorite is Rey's. That staff, man. I think it's such a beautiful poster. Some say it may look like a lightsaber, and it sure as hell could look like a lightsaber, but it's just a beautiful poster. She's what I'm looking forward to the most in the movie. I'm really looking forward to seeing her character and what she is and who she is and whatnot. But I will say about the Finn one, I think I'm going opposite way. I think that this, again, the fact that they're including him with the lightsaber so much in marketing only says that he's not going to be a Jedi. I don't think he's going to be a Jedi.
I think he is.
I think that with him in the teaser trailer, with the international trailer, the posters, they're oversaturating him with this lightsaber so much. I think it's
but maybe it's just straightforward.
Like, I think it's going
no games.
I don't think so. That's just my opinion, though.
Let me say one thing that might change your mind a little tiny bit. I just thought of this right now. What if Daisy Ridley and him, or Rey and Finn, run into each other at some point? What if the Force is what brings them together? Because
Possibly.
I'm
not saying he's not going to be Force sensitive.
Okay, there's a difference.
But I don't think that I don't think he's going to be wielding the lightsaber all the time.
I don't think he's going to be a Jedi Knight in this film.
I don't think he'll ever be a Jedi.
I think he will. Okay. I think in this movie he's going to be very raw with his skills. He's barely going to know how to fight, but I think by the time we see him in episode 8, he's going to be like mastered his skills a lot. Okay. So, we'll see.
Well, Gio, what about you? Anything stands out? What do you think about the posters? Favorite one?
I do like the posters. The one that stands out to me is Harrison Ford, Han Solo. Just seeing him with that blaster, means like you guys don't know who you're messing with here. Like I shot first, okay.
He looks good too. He looks good for being 70+ years old.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
he doesn't look too bad.
And he's arguably the best shot. As far as accuracy
with
goes,
his blaster,
with the blaster in the galaxy. Like, I mean, is there anyone better?
Boba Fett,
Chewie, maybe.
Chewie's pretty damn good. Chewie's pretty good.
Boba Fett's a bounty hunter.
Yeah, Boba Fett's pretty good too.
Well, they're all pretty good, but I think Han Solo will take.
But I mean, definitely among the heroes.
Yes. But my favorite one is Kylo Ren. I just love the dark side. His lightsaber is everywhere. Like, it's like all over the place when you look at the blue and then the red. But I love the posters. Can't wait for the movie. Yeah.
I just want one real quick. One thing we brought up, I think, last Padawan podcast was that Kylo Ren, that might be Darth Vader's red lightsaber, and it was all messed up, and he found it, and he he rebuilt it, and that's why it's all, rugged and messed up. It's not. If you look at him, we already know this.
Well, let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah.
So, is it? There's options. It could be Darth Vader's lightsaber. He reconstructed it,
and it's all off.
Yes.
Because,
or is it a makeshift one that he possibly made himself, or is it so powerful that it's made like that to scare people because it is so powerful looking? Like, is the lightsaber so powerful to where it won't stay straight, that it is a staggered lightsaber?
Like, it can't. Maybe he has like 2 crystals in there.
Yeah,
and,
like it's such a
and
powerful
it can't
lightsaber.
hold all the power, so that's why it's all
So-
distorted.
Yes.
So what does that mean? He can cut another lightsaber in half?
We don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, is it? I mean, what do you guys think? Is that a possibility?
That is definitely a
It's definitely a
possibility.
possibility,
And that
yeah.
would make sense because that would make him even more intimidating.
That's exactly. The lightsaber, it intimidates people because it is so staggered.
Yeah, I mean, his lightsaber looks badass no matter what.
I mean, yeah, look at John Boyega in the last moments of the trailer. He's like, I have a lightsaber. What the hell is that thing? He's like, yeah. So
Well, everyone's scared of Kylo Ren. We know that. I mean, even when he goes up to fight Kylo Ren, he looks scared. And obviously Daisy Ridley is terrified of him.
Well, I want to ask a real quick question then. So, when we see A New Hope, or when we watch A New Hope, Darth Vader is the most intimidating person in the universe.
yes.
When we first see The Force Awakens, will Kylo Ren be known like Vader will be, or is he going to have to rise the ranks, and will he be an unknown leader in the First Order when we first see him? Or will he have a kind of Darth Vader presence already?
Well, I don't know because we still haven't seen General Hux. We haven't
True.
seen Snoke yet. So
Very
it's
true.
like he could easily be overshadowed by those two. But I'm gonna say for Episode 7, yes. Yeah, I think it will be.
I don't think he's as powerful as Darth Vader.
Well, I'm just saying
was.
as big as a presence.
Yeah, definitely. I think, but the difference is, I think, obviously, he's younger than Darth Vader was
Yes.
when we first meet Darth Vader. So I think he's going to be viewed as somebody who's very dangerous, but I think he's going to be viewed as somebody who lets his temper get the best of him and he loses control a lot. So, like, he doesn't get the respect that he wants.
He needs anger management classes.
Exactly. So I think he's going to be very powerful, but also, like, his weakness is going to be his rage, So
with that, because that brings up something in my mind. If that happens, is there a possibility that we see Kylo Ren jump sides to train with Luke? Because he is so angry. If that happens.
You're saying, like, become good?
Yeah.
I've thought of that before. I could see that happen in the last movie, similar to Darth Vader's turn, but I would like it to be earlier in the film so we can, like,
See him
maybe
as a good guy.
see him working
Yeah.
with them.
Yeah.
What if he has a change of mind? He's like, you guys are right. We have to take down the New Order. I could see that. And I wouldn't mind that. Gio's making the face like that'd be cheesy.
No,
You want him bad.
We need an opposing force.
Yeah.
on
No,
that
I hear
side.
you. What if
That's Snoke.
True.
But I mean, we need another opposing force.
No, I hear you. That's why I threw out the question. I wanted to hear it.
Yeah, I mean, there's always two, right?
Well, these guys aren't Sith. The rule of 2 is for Sith.
Yeah.
Snoke is not Sith.
They're not Sith.
They're not
The word
considered-
Sith hasn't been considered in these movies yet.
Well,
He may end up being one, but Kylo Ren's not a Sith. He's a knight of Ren.
Oh, okay.
But he pretty much, I mean, he just doesn't have the title of
He's
Sith.
he's a dark force user. We'll say that.
Yeah.
Dark force user.
Yeah, I still think we need an opposing force.
Okay.
But we'll
Cool.
see.
All right. Well, we're gonna move on. So we're gonna move on to Jacob and Gio finally got a chance to watch Rebel season 1,
Finally.
the Star Wars animated show. I've been caught up all along. I've been watching the show live. So we're just kind of gonna run through for a little bit, get their first impressions. We're gonna talk about the positives and negatives that they thought of, and as they start talking about stuff, will start coming back to me because I haven't seen it in a while. But Jacob, let's start with you. First impressions of season 1. What did you think? The development, and then we'll get into your positive negatives a little bit later.
Yeah, just overall, I absolutely love it. And it's not just because I love Star Wars. I've been watching Clone Wars season 1, and I like it, but there's elements of that season that sometimes I want to shut it off.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just I don't just love everything Star Wars, but this show is really good, and it's great, I'm gonna say. And it doesn't it takes a while to get going for me. Like it took about 5 episodes for me to be like, all right, I'm all in.
The first few, it did take a while. Yeah.
Not that they were bad episodes, but it's just like I was trying to figure the show out. Like, okay, what they're trying to introduce these new characters. I wasn't really attached to them yet, but overall, I really love it. A few things they could do better, but just in general, I was blown away, and I'm so glad I finally got around to watching it.
Gio, first thoughts?
I'll echo a lot of what Jacob says. I really did enjoy this first season. At first, I was like, okay, Rebels.
A little hesitant.
Yeah, what do we do? Who is this kid? And then as it further went on, you start to see there's more to this kid. A very strong team dynamic, I'll say.
Very strong. It's very cool to see them all work together.
Yeah. And it brilliantly sets itself up to like big reveals, like the first reveal that Kanan's a Jedi. The Inquisitor. Who is this guy?
Spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, spoilers.
Oh yeah, I'll say this, that we're probably going to get into some stuff. So if you haven't
Definitely.
seen Rebels, I would say skip forward or just turn the show off.
But I mean,
but
who doesn't know Kanan's a Jedi by now?
Exactly.
You see him holding his lightsaber in the marketing and stuff.
Right.
So, Gio, go
I've
ahead.
been watching Collider. Anyways, yeah, and it starts off slow, but it gets bigger and bigger, and it has more tie-ins and references to like the Clone Wars and some of the films also.
Little
So-
Yoda,
Yoda,
the little voice.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So all in all, as a Star Wars fan, I really love this. I think all Star Wars fans should definitely watch this if you haven't. It's one of the it's something that keeps us going, that feeds us while we're waiting.
Probably the only
for
animated
film.
TV show that we watch.
Well,
Right.
yeah, and it's on Disney Channel or Disney XD, but it's made for adults.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
It's a Star Wars show,
It's as dark as the movies ever get.
and it does something that hasn't been happening or hasn't been done in a while. It's a very Star Wars feel. It's
Exactly.
very Star Wars.
A
Exactly.
lot of adult.
It gives you the feeling of Star Wars again. Like when the music first starts on the show,
Mm-hmm.
you're like, okay, this is Star Wars.
Or even just when Kanan's explaining something to Ezra and you hear the score slowly come in.
It's very
as
John
an
Williams
episode's
esque.
getting ready to end.
It's John Williams esque.
And then like it picks up really loud by
Yeah.
the end of the episode. It's given me chills multiple times.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to move on to some positives for you guys. I know it's a long season, a lot of episodes, but just a quick couple positives, maybe a favorite character or something you really liked in a certain episode, whatnot. Gia, let's go and start with you. Favorite character, favorite episode, favorite moment, anything that really, really stood out to you over the season?
Let's see. Favorite character. I can't say Darth Vader because Darth Vader is the obvious choice.
Okay, we'll go from...
And he's mostly in season 2.
We'll go from the Ghost Crew.
That is season 2, right?
We'll go from the Ghost Crew.
The Ghost Crew.
From the Ghost Crew.
Favorite character. I'm gonna go and say. God,
It's hard.
it's tough.
There's a lot of them.
There is a lot of them. I'm gonna go ahead and just say Kanan. For me.
He's a really good character.
Yeah.
Really good character.
He's someone who didn't get his full Jedi training. Was kind of cut off.
Order 66.
The Order 66. There's a couple great moments where he thinks he sees his master. In that episode where he was in prison.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times you see him struggling with Ezra, as being a teacher because he can only teach Ezra so much.
Yeah. He has a lot of depth to him.
Yeah.
Kanan does.
Yes, he does. So he's my favorite character. And what else did you ask?
Maybe a favorite moment, something that really stood out to you over the season. Could be anything.
Favorite moment or episode?
I think me and Jacob are going to agree with this one. And it's
Wait, you might go into season 2. Are you? Is that what you're thinking of? Okay.
No. This is when Ezra gets his lightsaber crystal.
Oh, that
yes.
episode.
That episode is
really good.
amazing.
Yeah,
Wow.
in the temple. In the
Yeah.
temple. That's really good. I remember that
Oh
now.
my
With
God.
Yoda. That's
Yeah.
when Yoda's talking.
Very
to him.
good. Very good episode.
Yeah, he goes through this kind of like test.
The trials.
Similar to what Luke went through. I
Exactly.
mean, not to the same.
On Dagobah, though.
Yeah,
Yes.
on Dagobah.
Yes.
You know what's great about that episode too is I don't know if they've shown it in Clone Wars, but we've never seen a Jedi get his crystal.
There's a whole arc on Clone Wars where they go through that with younglings. With younglings,
I'm excited for that, but that was what I liked about
Ahsoka. Actually, Ahsoka takes the younglings.
Oh, nice!
And they go through this trial and everything.
Can't wait.
So.
Wow. Yeah. So that was a stand. I mean, there was quite a bit standout moments for season 1, but as far as like my favorite one, it's
that's
that
a great
one.
moment.
Yeah.
It's important too.
Yeah. And are we getting into negatives or?
We'll go about that next.
Okay.
So Jacob, favorite character, favorite moment, anything that really, really stood out to you?
Man, my favorite character is definitely Chopper. All right.
Chopper's a
I'm just
boss, man.
No, I really like Chopper.
Chopper's awesome.
I like Chopper. I like Zeb.
Zeb is awesome too.
I really like Sabine. I really, really like Sabine. She's the runner-up, but I gotta go with Kanan. How is Kanan? Look, Ezra to me, I like Ezra, but I will get into that in a little bit. I love Kanan. He's like everything you want a Jedi.
He's
to be.
what a Jedi should be.
Even though he never finished his training.
He was a Padawan, or not even a Padawan.
I think they took like if every kid grew up to be a Jedi, what would they want to be like? And they created Kanan because he's not perfect. He has his flaws. He messes up a lot, but then he always fixes them or finds a way to fix them. So, and he's even though he's he knows you can't get attached. He's attached to every single member of his crew. So like
he's human. He's very humanized.
How does that play into the dark side element? Everyone speculates that Ezra is heading towards the dark side. What if they flip flop it on us? You never know. What if Kanan goes to the dark side? You never know. So I'm very fascinated with his character, man. I know there's books. The books get into his character. The comics. I want to read his comics.
Well, we'll talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have to go with. I hate to copy Gio, but I have to go with Kanan.
No, it's understandable.
And as far as
awesome.
episodes or moments, I love that episode. I told you, Gio, it was a toss-up between that episode and then the season finale, which the season finale is incredible.
Specifically, that fight between, first it's Ezra and Kanan versus the Inquisitor, but then it ends up being Ezra or
Kanan versus the Inquisitor.
And when Kanan grabs both lightsabers and then he's shooting with Ezra's, that was so amazing. Yeah. I love Ezra's lightsaber. It has a blaster on the front of it. Like, how you go from fighting to shooting, it's so incredible. And just the way it all went down, how he thought Ezra was dead. So what makes a Jedi weak is their connection to other people, them getting too attached. And he even says once he thinks Ezra's dead, he's like, I have nothing to fear now. And then that's when he starts whooping on the Inquisitor. And he cuts the Inquisitor's lightsaber in half. And it was so amazing. So, yeah, definitely a toss-up between that episode you mentioned when Ezra gets his crystal and the season finale. But I'll go with the season finale since you chose that episode. Yeah.
Well, I want to talk about that moment in the season finale real quick, though, because I forget what the Inquisitor says. But when he's hanging there talking to Kanan, he says something.
Yeah, he does right before he falls.
That it felt like he knew that he was supposed to die. The Inquisitor, like he knew that he was only meant to do something.
Weird. Yeah.
And it made not Ezra, but Kanan a little bit stronger, but it also like almost dampened his thought process in a way. I forget what he says. I haven't seen it in a while.
I
know. But the moment is
really
cool
talking
between
about.
the two of them.
I got to rewatch it.
It's really cool between the two of them.
I know what you're talking about. It's almost like the Emperor or Vader is like, go after them, but don't kill them. Like,
yes.
we want to test them and we want to push them closer to the dark side.
Exactly.
And maybe he wasn't supposed to die in doing that, but maybe he's like, maybe he saw something in Kanan, like, I pushed you a little towards the dark side. My job's done.
Exactly.
And falls. So I didn't think about that, but that makes sense.
All right, well, we're going to move on to a little bit of negatives. Of course, a show is not always perfect. So, Jacob, we're going to go right back to you. Negatives that stand out to you, maybe a character you didn't like, whatnot. Go ahead.
There's not too many negatives, honestly. Like I said, the first couple episodes took me a minute to, like, get attached to the characters. And I guess you need time to develop, but I just wasn't sure what was going on, but it was probably because I didn't know the characters. But while I like Ezra, I know he's a kid, but he's very immature and like a lot of the times. But At the same time, he can be mature too. Maybe sometimes he brings Kanan back down to earth, but I feel like Ezra's a little too whiny sometimes, and he loses control a lot, and sometimes they're a little heavy with some Star Wars references. I don't think the show needs to rely on them too much. But other than that, I mean, there's really nothing that I don't like about this show, man. It's pretty incredible. Yeah, I mean, I really don't have much negatives.
Gio?
Towards the beginning, there was a lot of playful going around between Ezra and who's that big beast guy?
Zeb.
Zeb, and I'm like, oh, well, yeah, this is clearly a Disney show. You know, they're all playing around and whatnot. That kind of annoyed me, but it got more serious as it went on. And also, God, who's that second guy in command in the Imperial side? The
Callus.
Yeah, he's like a commander or something.
General, you know who plays him?
David Oyelowo, right?
Yep.
Is that the guy with the sideburns?
The blonde guy.
Yeah, that
Yes.
guy. Yeah. How many times have they had an opportunity to either kill that guy or he kill, them off or capture them?
I'm sure there's a lot.
Quite a few times.
But know that he's actually planned on being the show for a very, very long time.
Yeah, but I mean, there's just a couple moments where you're like, okay, he's right there. What are you doing? Okay, you're flying away? No. Like,
they don't necessarily want to kill him. That's not their mission. But I see what you're saying, though. How many times has he escaped death?
Yes.
Right.
Like, all
exactly.
the time.
Yeah. So, and Ezra, what I will say is he is getting, there are a lot of times where he's just like, okay, why are you acting like that? Why are you being a little brat? But at the same time, it's for me, and I'm sure for you guys too, it's also foreshadowing something very dark that may happen down the line with Ezra. I mean, I'm not.
Well, okay. Well, let's go ahead and go off that. So, moving past the negatives, it could be this season, next season, the season after. Is there anything that you're looking forward to, like that you would want to see happen in the coming episodes, years, whatever the show's going?
Yeah, I want to see how Ezra handles his inner conflict, his personal, trying to get over that. Is he strong enough to get over that? Is Kanan a strong enough leader to help guide Ezra to get past that? We'll have to wait and see, but so far it's not looking good.
And you guys are caught up on season 2 except for one episode, yes?
Yes.
So in season 2, and spoilers again, but Kanan has done a really good job of training him so far.
Yeah.
A really good job.
Definitely, yeah.
And to me, it's foreshadowing that he's training him to be more powerful than Kanan.
Oh, he's gonna be. He's gonna be
he's
for sure.
gonna be a powerful presence with the Force.
Yeah, I think Ezra. I mean, Anakin was probably the most powerful Jedi to ever, or powerful Force user to ever live. But I feel like Ezra's really up there because sometimes it's just, every Jedi has his cap, like how powerful he can become, and I think Ezra's cap is a lot.
Well, if you think about it, he has learned a lot and more in a short period of time than normal Force users
he's kind
have.
of had to.
And it's a very Anakin-esque way.
Exactly.
Because
so that's very dangerous when you learn later in life.
He learned in a very short period, too, because he started older.
Yeah.
So maybe it is foreshadowing something. But
they definitely foreshadow the dark side with him.
Well, let's go to you real quick. So anything that you want to see in the coming years, seasons, or anything that you think should be done as far as the whole series goes?
Well, one thing I want to see the relationship between Ezra and Kanan just continue in the direction it's been going, because one thing I told Gio is we're finally getting them, even though they're not, officially Master and Padawan, we're finally getting the Master Padawan relationship we always wanted to see. We didn't get that with Obi-Wan and Anakin. They were split up most of the time.
Well, I'll say this, because you guys are watching Clone Wars, you get that with Anakin and Ahsoka.
I know.
That's
what I'm saying. And this is technically part of season 1. Ahsoka shows up at the end.
Oh, great moment.
Yes.
I want to learn more about Ahsoka and where she's been and what she's been doing, and I want to learn how powerful she is. And I also want to learn more about Sabine. I'm very curious. I think there's more to her than people think, and I think she has a bigger future on this show, and I think
possibly she might be Felicity Jones' character in Rogue One if that character's not
young
Leia.
She, for those of you who don't know Sabine, she is a Mandalorian who
Soldier.
used to work with the Empire.
Yeah,
so there is a lot of depth there for sure. So, all right, well, finishing up, any final thoughts towards season 1 that you would like to?
If you're a Star Wars fan, and for those of you who don't know, people listening might not know this, but it's very hard to explain, but there's this thing called canon in the Star Wars universe. Canon is the official history of what's going on in the Star Wars movies, but also what relates, it's the prequels, the original trilogy, and all the new books and comics that have came out since this year, and Rebels and Clone Wars.
Clone Wars is canon.
So
yes.
this Rebels TV show has repercussions in the film universe.
And it's between episode 3 and 4.
So just if you're a Star Wars fan, you should definitely watch it. You will not be disappointed, I promise, especially with episode 1 of season 2. And overall, it's a great show, regardless of animation or not. And I definitely recommend it.
Any final thoughts, Gio?
Very strong start for season 1. A lot to look forward to in season 2. There's a lot of great characters, and there's so much that Rebels can do. They can go on for at least 4 or 5 more seasons.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys were able to watch it, but Freddie Prinze Jr. was on Jedi Council.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
and,
I watched that.
He had said that that he thinks that the show can go till season 6.
Yeah, that
so
would
there
be
was
awesome.
a lot of time to do some good stuff there. And if you're a huge Star Wars fan, if you're a huge Star Wars fan of Rebels, go check out Collider Video's Jedi Council show.
Oh yeah, it's
Rebels
awesome.
After Show, and especially the episode with Freddie Prinze Jr. There's a lot of good juicy details in there. So that's gonna wrap up our Padawan podcast today. Before we go, just want to thank Gio and Jacob for joining me again today. And where can they find you guys online, Gio?
You guys can find me on Twitter at JojoRamos24 and on apocalypsemovies.com. And I just want to say real quick, congrats to Daniel Fleetwood, who was terminally ill with cancer.
Yes.
And he got to see Star Wars The Force Awakens, an uncut version. So he got his wish. Thank you for everyone who retweeted and did everything they could.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, make it happen.
Jacob?
And I'm Jacob Bartley. You can find me on Twitter at Governor Bartley. Kind of short for Grand Moff. I couldn't fit Grand Moff Bartley on there. And yeah, on apocalypsemovies.com and this YouTube channel, please subscribe if you have not.
And I'm Jake Berlin, a.k.a. Qui-Gon Jake. You can find me at Twitter and Instagram at Qui-Gon Jake. Our Facebook page, Apocalypse Movies. Make sure you like and share our YouTube channel, our website, apocalypsemovies.com. Thank you for listening today, and until next time, may the Force be with you.